Why do we tell stories? What human need does drama fulfill? Art? Music? Can a story help us to know ourselves truly and deeply? Can a story help us to transcend our very physical nature?
Stories they reside not just as things floating out there in space. They reside in our very being. Are they part of? They in a sense, I think they become part of the structure of our minds. If Levi-Strauss is right.
The stage has been used as a metaphor for life ever since the very first performance. The play's author, whether one or many, wishes to communicate a special idea or experience. An abstract feeling that cannot be clothed in traditional language. It must be sung or danced.
The people in the audience, they recognize the fact that this is a drama, this is a play taking place, and these are actors. But something mysterious takes place in the space between the proscenium arch and the audience. The play then becomes attached and enlivened in the minds and the hearts and the consciousness of the people who see this, and they go home. And the play then, even though the play is not necessarily factually true, it enters into a reality.
Only in the story's living symbology can the unspoken truths of the mind be revealed. What is the meaning of evil? Is it a heartless tyrant? Or is a better model a malevolent spirit, a miserly old grouch, a calculating murderer? Intangible concepts like good and evil, love and hate are made more concrete through their battle on the theater stage. This battle is between Rama, the seventh reincarnation of Vishnu, and Ravana, the demon king of Lanka. Their story is the Ramayana, a Sanskrit epic that was translated into Javanese as early as 860 AD. The play has influenced the lives of millions, retaining its popularity even to the modern day.
Rama's story is a 5,000-year-old story. And great Rishi, great seer, Valmiki, first narrated, and that story became very popular in all over India, north, south, east, west.
Rama, like most heroes, upholds the values of his society. His conduct is virtuous and respectful of others. When his father, Dasharatha, is forcibly tricked into banishing Rama into the forest for 14 years, Rama does not shed a single tear or hold a grudge against those who deceived his father. He willingly sacrifices the inheritance of his kingdom in order to obey and honor his father's word. Rama is accompanied into the wilderness by his wife Sita. Ravana, the lord of the demon race, upon hearing of Sita's incomparable beauty, plots to abduct her and make her his queen. Disguised as a beggar, he manipulates her sense of charity. Ravana coaxes Sita into leaving her circle of protection in order to bring him food. Rama, aided by Sugriva's royal army, invades the demon capital of Lanka to rescue Sita. Ravana is too proud to surrender Sita and admit his wrongdoing. His arrogant sense of entitlement ultimately leads to his destruction at the hands of the righteous Rama.
But Ravana misused his power. He wanted to show, I am a supreme, I am a powerful king. That is his weakness.
In Java, it is customary to avoid depictions of Ravana's moment of death due to the power and spiritual magnitude of the event.
The world must have good and bad, and if everyone just good, the world itself will not balance. So bad in this regard will never totally die. The bad characters will appear again on that another story.
It is fully understood that stories can hold a powerful influence over those who will truly listen.
With all stories, you can't just look at the story from the surface level. You always have to go as deeply as you can. The moment you start going deeper and unpeeling some of the layers, you begin to see its nuances and its complexity. And that's what gives the story its tremendous power, because it is so complex and it's so nuanced that it means things to different people, but it still has a way of bringing them together.
Our own shadow plays can make us laugh, cry, and jump in terror. We read the images not as an illusion, but in terms of their narrative significance, how we relate to the characters and situations.
Movies today are essentially, I think, the most dominant form of telling our stories in Canada today, or in North America, or around the world.
The stories are metaphors for the conflicts we experience in our own lives and in our own minds. In Java, the historical validity of a story is inconsequential, for the real truth lies cloaked in the work's message.
What is the message of Ramayana? If the person will follow this story, understand fully, and learn properly, and put all these great values in our life, there will be no Ravan in this society. Not even in a small society, in large society, in the country, not in the world. But people just read a story, but they don't follow. So reading the story, watching the movie of Ramayana, watching the part or documentary of Ramayana is a one part. And put in action all this story, all these great qualities in life is a different thing.
Gandhi, the great spiritual activist of India, once said,
"Whether Rama of my imagination ever lived or not on this earth, the ancient ideal of the Ramayana is undoubtedly one of true democracy."
Stories do not need to have actually happened in order to be true.
All stories are true, whether they're fact or fiction. Those two terms sort of obliterate and obscure the sense of reality. A story is true not in the sense that it can be corroborated factually. The story is true in the sense that we incorporate the essence of the story into our consciousness, and it changes us in the sense that it can alter our personalities, it can alter the way we think about the world, it can alter the way we act out our sense of reality, and that's the power of story.
Only in the story can we see ideas in their undiluted form. Just as the crisp shadows define good and evil, respect and selfishness, love and loss, so do the stories allow humanity to grapple with these non-material forces inside all of us. Rama is the model for living without preconceived hatred or judgment of others. He takes the difficult path of respecting others more than he values his own comfort and well-being.
So each and every character, there is one quality is there, and the root of that quality, the sacrifice.
Ravana, on the other hand, acts from his desires. He lustfully wishes for what he lacks or feels is absent, and so is dependent, defined, and controlled by forces external to him. The teaching is to avoid attachment to worldly possessions and desires.
The audience should learn not only from the good perspectives, but also from bad characters.
A Ravana and Rama dwell in every human's mind. The Dalang, a masterful puppeteer and spiritual leader, single-handedly acts as the medium by which both of these intangible forces are accessed.
Within each and every one of us, there lies these conflicts and these tensions. There lies the shadow. And the need for human beings to find ways to reconcile these tensions in a way that isn't harmful, that is creative.
Just as the author encompasses all the characters they manifest on the page, the Dalang shows us that the characters of the drama live inside each of us, that we are not unified human beings whom only act in one way or want one thing. It reveals the spectrum of light and dark within each of us.
The Dalang will communicate with the audience, but also the Dalang need to communicate with himself, how to portray the performance, the story. He need to control himself.
Once made aware of these forces struggling inside of us, we can choose to operate from the forces of good, or what Carl Jung would call the shadow self. In this way, we can participate with the eternal, the world of story which exists beyond time and space, story which unifies cultures and ideas. It is through story that we can truly know ourselves.